On May 23, 2026, crypto prices across 5 major assets fell sharply amid a broader market decline. Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, Zcash, Dogecoin, and Ethereum all traded lower in the face of a 2.4% drop in total market capitalization over 24 hours. Zcash led the decline with a double-digit drop of 11.32%, while Hyperliquid fell 5.85% after a new ETF filing was announced. The broader risk-off environment is pulling capital out of higher beta tokens and into Bitcoin, which saw a 2.66% decline but held up better than its peers. The Fear and Greed Index is at 28, indicating a strong fear-level sentiment, yet Bitcoin's dominance remains above 58%, suggesting a defensive positioning rather than a full market sell-off. The pattern is consistent with a broad de-risking move, where investors are rotating into the largest asset to hedge against uncertainty. Hyperliquid's decline was amplified by the announcement of a new spot Hyperliquid ETF from Bitwise on May 14, which added a catalyst to its 5.85% drop. The ETF filing is a regulatory and market signal that can influence investor sentiment and liquidity, especially in a volatile environment. Zcash's sharp drop was likely driven by a combination of market-wide fear and asset-specific factors, such as technical indicators or news flow that isn't fully captured in the evidence. While the broader crypto market is shedding value, Bitcoin's relative stability suggests that it is being viewed as a safer haven within crypto. This dynamic is: most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Typical during periods of uncertainty, where capital flows toward the largest and most liquid asset. The Fear and Greed Index at 28 reinforces the cautious tone, with investors likely avoiding speculative tokens in favor of more established ones. The next signal to watch is whether Bitcoin's dominance continues to rise or if the broader market stabilizes. If Bitcoin's price stabilizes or recovers slightly while other assets follow suit, it could indicate a broader market bottom. Conversely, if Bitcoin also breaks key support levels, it could signal a deeper correction. The ETF filing for Hyperliquid is a regulatory event that could have longer-term implications, especially if it gains traction and brings in new institutional capital. For Zcash, the next signal to monitor is whether it can stabilize above a key support level or if the double-digit drop leads to a broader sell-off in altcoins. Investors should also keep an eye on the Fear and Greed Index for any shifts in sentiment, as a move into greed territory could signal a market reversal. The current environment is defined by a shared risk-off backdrop, not 5 independent stories. As such, the next signal is likely to be a broad market move that affects all major assets in a coordinated way. The stakes are high for investors who are positioned in altcoins, as the market's sensitivity to sentiment and macroeconomic factors is amplified in a risk-off climate. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's role as a de facto safe haven within crypto is being tested, and its ability to hold key levels will be closely watched for signs of resilience or capitulation. The broader decline in market capitalization also raises questions about the sustainability of recent price gains and whether the market is entering a correction phase. For Hyperliquid, the ETF filing could either act as a floor or a catalyst for further selling pressure, depending on how the market interprets the news. If the filing is seen as a positive development, it could attract new capital and stabilize the asset. However, if the market remains in fear mode, the filing may be viewed as a delayed response to a declining trend. Zcash's performance highlights the most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Fragility of smaller cap assets in a downturn, as they are often the first to be sold off when investors seek liquidity or reassurance. The next few days will be critical in determining whether the market can stabilize or if the selling pressure will continue to mount. For now, the evidence suggests a defensive stance from investors, with capital consolidating in Bitcoin and a general reluctance to take on new risk. The Fear and Greed Index remains a useful barometer of sentiment, and any movement toward more neutral or positive readings could signal a turning point. Until then, the market is likely to remain in a consolidation phase, with crypto prices fluctuating in line with broader risk sentiment and regulatory developments.